Hello and welcome to MGT320 Managing Change. My name is Nicole Mitchell and I'll be running this subject in Port Macquarie in tutorial mode for 2016 Session 1. I look forward to meeting you and of course if I've met you before in a previous subject, I look forward to seeing you again and working with you on this exciting subject. As a third level subject, this MGT320 will be drawing on some of those concepts and subjects that you've already been studying as part of your degree, particularly any management subjects, human resource management and marketing. So what's this subject all about? Well, we're really looking at an integrated approach to the theory. So there is theory, a lot has been written about change management. We'll look at some research and also the actual practice of the management of change, of the change process. And as part of this, the material that we cover this session and the assessment task, you'll develop and apply action plans that encompass the diagnosis, interventions, implementation, and also the institutionalization of change in organizations. We'll now have a quick look at the Subject Interact site. Hopefully you've already all had a look. Of course, as normal, we've got the subject outline located here. Announcements will be stored here, and our actual schedule of when we do have our face-to-face sessions is located here. As I explained in my announcement, this subject will be delivered in tutorial mode, which means we catch up for 6 2-hour face-to-face sessions during the course of the whole session. Because our tutorial times are scheduled for a Monday and there's 2 public holiday Mondays, it's not exactly 1 week on, 1 week off. So please do check your schedule to make sure that you're able to attend. So you can see here on this table, I've set it out so you know which topics we will be discussing for during each tutorial, so you can come prepared. It also has a list of readings that you need to complete. Those weeks that we don't catch up, please make sure you keep on track and do keep working through the topics as required. So you can see that I've highlighted the key dates for when we do get together. You can see there's Anzac Day, and I think there's also an Easter Monday where we don't have a tutorial, so I have adjusted it slightly. So that schedule, as I've shown you, is located over here. My contact details are also found here, as well as a discussion board. And please use the discussion boards to ask any questions about topics. If you want to mention something that you've read or you find is relevant, please do get involved with that, especially because we are only meeting roughly once a fortnight. All the learning content activities, these have been prepared by Andrea Howell, who's a subject convener. And everything's in there, set out nicely by topic. So you just click on the topic and you'll see the learning outcomes clearly set out, as well as the reading you need to do and some material there, as well as some information and graphics and so forth to make it more interesting. I just want to go back to the home page for a second and just go through how this subject's actually structured, so you kind of start getting your head around what we're going to be looking at over the course of the session. So the first part we're going to be looking at is the actual change context. So that's topics 1 and 2. So we look at the nature of organisational change and the history of organisational development. That's what the OD stands for. Then topics 3 to 6, we'll be looking at the change content, so the content of change. So we're looking at models and approaches, the role of the change agent, diagnostic models and planned change interventions. Then the last 3 topics we'll be looking at influences on change implementation, evaluation, institutionalization and the ethics involved with change, as well as the future of change. So we'll be looking at that last. What we'll also find is that a lot of organizations will start the change process, so this area here, without taking into account or giving enough consideration to change context and also the change content, such as, what's the right model to use for change here? What is the change intervention that's most appropriate? So we'll be looking at all this and trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together, so when it's time for us to go into the workforce, we're aware of some of these change models. We know what's going on, how organisations can successfully change and achieve their goals. So many times change is handled poorly, and as a result we have stories of businesses closing, businesses changing, but then going downhill. They may have put some changes in place to try and save the company, but it ends up in even a worse condition. So keep your eyes and ears open. I mean, there's a lot of this material is relevant not just to the big organisations like, for example, Masters. If you haven't heard about Masters, what's going on with them, look it up. Also, a lot of media attention is given at the moment about Aldi, the supermarket, who's repositioning itself, so that they're undergoing a lot of change, especially in the way they market themselves and their marketing strategies. And as a result, the operations and the way the organisation is structured and run requires to be changed. But even on a smaller scale, we would have all heard the rumblings about McDonald's on the corner closing down. That's a big change in our community. That's sort of been iconic. Even the Down Under bar being closed down. I'm not sure if some of you were familiar with that place. That's been shut down. Didn't cope with change. The lockout laws apparently have been to blame for that. So we're looking at, look at those things that are going around you to help you sort of contextualize some of the material, especially some of those theories and the models that we'll be looking at. So anyway, that's enough for me. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Monday, and I'm really looking forward to working together on this exciting subject, MGT320, Managing Change. Thank you.